Alright, let's go. Is this the Mario Odyssey podcast?
I mean, can it be?
Yeah, this is it. Let's go.
Hey guys, I caved and bought a Switch.
Just quietly observing.
I already beat the game. I beat the main game in 2 days.
Mike, you've had it. How long is the main game? Is it
either
that means either it's not long or
Let's
you
see,
played too much.
Hold on, I can tell you how many moons I have. I've only bought like 11 moons, and I have. Wait, hold on.
Isn't there?
No. Oh, I need 155 more for something. Ooh, or just all the moons? You could do the math from there if you know this game, but where does it tell me how many moons I have?
There must be a button that you just press.
I would assume so, but I mean, like, apparently not. It shows you on the blip there. It's up there. I fell off the edge. And that's where we start the podcast. Anyway, you want to intro the show?
Yes. Hello.
We already played the intro and you didn't intro, so.
So, Power Podcast. I don't know what episode this is. I never do. But
that's not even the intro. Welcome to the Power Cycle Podcast.
We did the intro already.
No, we had to fix the thing.
Oh, sorry.
Cutting it again.
Now I gotta do it.
All right.
Take 3. Hello, and welcome to the Power Cycle Podcast. I am Jack Barron.
And I'm Mike Knowles.
And today, we are just going to be playing Mario Odyssey and sitting here quietly.
Basically,
that's
hold on. God damn it. It's on the other side of the Okay, hold on. You just keep vamping. I'm going to find out how many moons I have.
Okay, Mike is currently trying to figure out how many moons he has in Mario Odyssey. I'm assuming, since there are, I don't know how many are in the game. I have zero idea of how many moons there are in the game.
I wonder what's like my playtime too.
I'm sure, well, you've had it for 48 hours.
I've had it for more than 48 hours.
Oh, okay.
I've had the game since Wednesday.
Can't you just
I've had the
exit?
Whole thing
Can't you just exit and go to the save file and it'll tell you?
I'm going to check, but I mean, it might just say how old the save file is. It might not actually say the...
Dude, you got some invisible coins there. You gotta get this.
Well, I already got them.
Get them again.
No, it doesn't
get them again.
No.
You need
Trying
them.
to find my moons, Jack.
I feel like this is the easy part of the game.
Do you have a topic for today or not?
I do. It has to do with Mario Odyssey. It doesn't. But
345 moons.
That sounds like an exorbitant amount for 2 days of playtime. That sounds like more than someone should have.
You need between like 10 to 30 to pass each level, but I would stay around and do a bunch of stuff before I went up to the next level.
And how many levels are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But I definitely haven't got all those. Also, there's New Game Plus after you beat it with like extra moons. So like I think there's probably like 80 per rough, like on average, because some of the stages are smaller than our stages, so I'm sure it differs. I'm gonna see if I can find out my playtime. Anyway, you say you have a topic?
Yeah. So, obviously the Steam summer sale just occurred.
It occurred a while ago. What are you talking about?
And it ended like 10 days ago. It was like 10 days ago.
Okay. Sure it is.
But I was thinking about, and I realized that me personally, I think the only game, I think I bought like 2 games on it during like the time. I bought PUBG to play with you.
Yes.
And I bought like Deus Ex Mankind Divided, like the remastered edition or director's cut, which apparently isn't the remaster. I don't know.
Wait, what does that mean? Hold on, you can't just say that. What does that mean?
So I bought Deus Ex the director's cut, and I was like reading up on it, but apparently the director's cut is like not as good as like the original like they built the director's cut on an older like version of the game, if that makes sense. So, like, instead of, like, remastering the finished product, they went to, like, an earlier build and then, like, remaster. I don't know what I was like, because I was playing
that doesn't make sense to me. Unless, like, things were, like, removed from it.
Yeah, I don't know. But, like,
you keep talking. I'm just going to Google, see if I can find out my playtime in Odyssey.
But yeah, so that's not really, like, the relevant conversation. But I was just saying that it was, like, I was playing it recently and it looked a little weird. And I was, like, Googling it. And that's, like, what I discovered is, like, it doesn't look as good. Only, like, some aspects look good. But I realized when I was kind of, so, like, every day, you know, Steam was offering these great sales and all these great games. Like, games, I wanted to buy them, but I didn't buy them. And I noticed, like, me personally, like, my drive to buy, like, a variety of games wasn't the same as when I was younger. And I think because, like, because right now I play, like, a couple games with a couple of my friends, and that is, like, we play Destiny all the time. We play Siege all the time. We'll play PUBG together, or we'll play Fortnite. Like, they're all like kind of like these multiplayer kind of seasonal games that I stick to rather, and even when I was playing the Deus Ex game I bought, I was kind of like not as into it as I wanted to be. And I was wondering, are you seeing that yours? I know you are into games, like a lot of single player games. You just got the Switch, but do you see like more people kind of focusing on like these seasonal multiplayer games rather than maybe being like, oh, I'll buy this new single player game. Like even Butts just got God of War. I haven't even seen him touch it yet because he's playing Siege with me or playing a different game.
Okay, quick update before I answer that. I haven't played it enough for it to tell me a relative hours. I'm gonna go on a limb and say 8 to 14 hours.
That sounds like a lot of moves for 8 to 14 hours.
Yeah, it's just a lot of playtime. Anyway, I'll put this away now so I'm not distracted anymore. The bid is over. Anyway, what was your exact question?
Like, are you finding yourself kind of being focused more on, like Siege, Fortnite, PUBG?
Oh, yeah.
Like they're all seasonals.
Yes.
Like you're
yes.
almost.
So, the quote unquote death to single player games that is occurring right now is, when it comes down to it, it's the people with the most disposable time are people who are in high school. There's a large adult gaming audience. Mostly people with disposable time are the people people also have disposable money, which is high schoolers, college kids, elder age middle schoolers, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what ends up happening is these people don't have a disposable income. They just have time for the most part. So what it comes down to is that the $60 store games, while they are priced appropriately, in my opinion, they're fine, they're great, everything's good, like worth it, like Mario Odyssey, worth it. What ends up happening is that they see a game like Fortnite, which is free, or they see a game like Overwatch, which is like $30, $40 digital, PUBG, $30 digital, which would be like, oh, it's less money, and there's no end because the content keeps coming. And so I think what ends up happening now is that you have people who are, they just never played these single player games because they're like, well, they're weighing the choices and like, well, this choice gives me more value. And then when they get older, they're like, they're like, oh, well, now I don't have time to play a story game. But these like Fortnite is like, oh, I can hop in for 10 minutes to play a quick game and then get back to work or get back to doing whatever I need to do. And so if they never grow up with the single player games and having that be a part of their experience, I feel like it's harder to get into it when you get older.
And I would say as well, I think these like Fortnite and Siege especially, and PUBG, I think what's interesting as well is these games are almost promoting this, not like a competition in the sense, but like it's almost like a amateur sport now. Like obviously eSports is a thing,
yeah.
But like for example, like I knew eSports had been a thing for a while, but whenever I was playing a multiplayer game, it wasn't like, okay, I'm playing an amateur esport. Kind of like a Friday Night Magic is an amateur. Like it's it's to help you build up towards esports. And when I was playing video games, I was kind of like, oh, like I'm just playing multiplayer for me. I like playing multiplayer with my friends. But now
there's no guy coming in just trying to stomp me for his highlight reel.
But now when you're playing like Siege or Fortnite and PUBG, like it is almost like like you're like, damn, like I need to be better at this. And also it's keeping track of your level. There's rankings and you get rewards. Like you're like, especially Overwatch, like your skins are almost like your collection of things that you have, like your career you've garnered over this time.
The gold skins and everything like that for your pro points.
Exactly. And so I think that is to like, again, because I went to sit down and play this single player game and I was kind of like, man, like it was almost like, what am I getting out of it? Like I sat down, I was like, this game's like 40 hours. There's side quests. Like the amount of effort and time I need to put into this single player game to get something when I could sit down and play Siege for an hour and get 10 matches done, get a pack, get some points. So like, it was that, and get better at it. It was like, it's where do I invest that time? And I think, again, like it's not that I don't want to play these single player. And even look at Fallout, a game that was like completely single player for years now. Like even they're moving, like even this new Fallout game is moving towards like an MMO. And
not a mistake, by the way, internet.
Yeah, I think it's cool, but I think that is a reaction to, like, I was excited to play it because, again, like, I was excited to play it maybe more than I would have been for a single player Fallout, because there is, again, like, you're building that career against other, and again, I think people are looking for more longevity to their games. Or like I look at, again, like Siege has a year 3 pass, there'll be a year 4 one. Fortnite's in a season 5. PUBG is adding event passes for certain things. Like everyone's kind of like, when you buy a game, you're buying it in because we're gonna no longer is Siege like, okay, Siege 1, then Siege 2 will come out 2 years from now, and then Siege 3. It's, no. Everything, you buy one game, and we're just going to update it for like 5 years.
And for single-player games, you have that, but it's paid DLC, which, again, worth the price. But when younger kids are looking at it, they're like, I don't have more money. I barely had money to buy this game as it is. And when adults are looking at it, they're like, I barely had time to play this game as it was. I don't have time to come down and play extra content. Fortnite just does it in like a better pacing, essentially, where you get like little bits of content, so it works better for their time frame. And I think the other major point of that is the fact that you're looking at these games that have grown so much through social media, where you speak to Fallout, the new Fallout game, you're like, there's also the social component of playing with your friends or like your online friends.
Exactly.
It's like, I can, as an adult, you're like, or not adult, but as an older person, you're like, I don't have a lot of free time right now, but I can justify playing video games for a longer length of time if it's multiplayer, because that is the time I'd be going out and getting social interaction with my friends, grabbing coffee or something like that, and Sebra's going to put on our headsets, and we're going to do this together.
And I think I've definitely noticed, like, I'll wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, like, I want to get some work done today, but maybe I'll play, like, a little bit of video games just so I'm not thinking about it later.
And then all the way across the apartment, Oi, Jack!
Yeah.
You wanker! Get on Fortnite!
Exactly, and that's the thing, like, it's,
Shout out to Connor.
Like, I'll, like, but we have, again, like, something like Discord where, like, my roommate can text me, be like, I'm on Discord, get on, and his friends are on, we're all on, and there's, 6 of you, and you go, oh, okay, well, I'm being social, I'm having fun, I'm doing all the things as an adult, like, should, but again, like, but then it's also harder to justify, like, you're sitting down, and you go, okay, I just bought Fallout 4, I guess I'm going to commit 80 hours to this thing, like, with that, well, I will get, and not that you don't get anything out of it. It's at least when you're playing this multiplayer game, when you get the points, you have more points than someone else. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. Like, I'm working my way up versus in single player, it's, I guess I'm just going on this quest because I want to. Like,
if I can detour this for a second, I think a major talking point about the subject is the rise of social media, I think.
Oh, yeah.
On one hand, games are now more ubiquitous in social media. Like we said, you originally play multiplayer, you're doing it because it's fun. You're playing Halo 2 multiplayer because Halo 2 multiplayer is amazing multiplayer. Now when you play multiplayer, you're not just playing with multiplayer, but you're playing it for the highlight reel. You're playing it for the Twitch followers. You're playing it for and even if you're not doing it for that, because other people are trying to accrue this other thing online, like with this game, you now have to raise your play level just so you don't get left in the dust. And it's like, well, I'm just getting tranced. I don't want to play this anymore. And so because of that, you are now put in this position where you're like, all right, I need to leave the game because I'm not having fun, or I need to double down on the game, which gives you less time to play other games.
Exactly. Like, I know, like, for me, because I had Siege on Xbox, and then I had got it for PC, and even I sat down, I was like, oh no, like, I'm rank 1, like, oh my god, like, I have to get all my stuff back. Or, like, when I started playing Fortnite on PC, I was like, oh, no, I'm level 1. I got to play all these people. I got to do all this work just to, like, meet other people and get to their level and, like, get their stuff. And it is weird because it is almost like you start playing one and you really enjoy it, and then it's almost like it becomes like, I remember I started getting into like Overwatch competitive with back in like 2 years ago, we started playing it all the time. Yeah, like that game it didn't even become fun anymore. It was like work.
I remember we're joining up and I'm like, hey Jack, you finished your plays? You're like, I'm like, what level? It's like, oh dude, I'm freaking bronze. I'm like, I'm platinum.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this is not gonna work out, dude.
Yeah, or it was just like I remember like I would be sitting there, like I remember like I back through my tweets. There's a tweet where I wrote, I think I got placed at like 1461. Yeah. And I think I fought all the way to like 21, and it was like the longest week of my life. I was like, I'm done with Overwatch. I never play this game again.
I'm sure that tweet exists.
Like it was just gruel, and like I think it is weird where like you look at, like, even like right now, I'm like a silver at Siege, and I sit down and I go like, if this drops any lower, I'm gonna hate myself. Like I can't go any lower than this.
Yeah, and so the other thing I want to talk about then is that these feelings we have of this value in digital influence almost of these games. So like the value is like, oh, I feel proud for my rank. I feel proud because of my score. I feel proud because of my skins. These are all like the same thing as social media, right? It's like uploading a photo to Facebook. I know you young people don't use Facebook anymore, but it's like uploading a photo. It's like uploading a photo to Facebook and getting like a bunch of likes on it. It's like it's that same reaction. It's like posting a clip on Twitch and it's like, hey, I did this, and it gets like a bunch of views on YouTube. And it's like,
this is what really messes with me. because if you ever like gone back and played, I'm sure you have like an older game like Modern Warfare 1. Have you ever like just gone back?
I really want to play Modern Warfare 3 because they just gave it backwards compatibility with servers.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yep.
But it's funny.
Maybe we'll do that today.
Like when you go back and play these older games, you realize just how much stuff that games throw at you now.
Yeah.
Like they just throw things at
Yeah.
you. Like when I remember like I played Halo 3. And I was like watching someone play it. When you finished a match, you didn't even get XP. You got 1. Yeah. Like if you won the match, you got 1 point.
Unless you're in rank. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it took you like thousands of and that was it. And like or if you like your highest rank was in competitive, it was just a number.
And the armor wasn't even tied to like playing the game. The armor was tied to achievements.
Yeah, and there was like 5, 7 armor sets. Yeah. Like, and that was it. You literally just played Halo 3 multiplayer
because it was freaking awesome.
Because you liked it.
Yeah.
Like, but now like I can't even play a multiplayer game if there's no ranking system, I can't even play.
If there's no Waluigi skin, I'm out.
Like I don't know how people play games where it's like, oh, I just play the multiplayer for fun. Like, wait, there's no points, there's no ranking, there's no skins, there's no nothing. They're like, no, we just play it. I'm like, I don't understand how you play this game.
Yeah. What is your life, sir?
They're like, yeah, what makes you want to play? And that's what's weird is like when you play a game like Siege, you get points for the kills, you get XP, you get renown points to buy things. There's R6 credits to buy things, you get booster packs, and your whole thing is like, yes, whatever I'm doing, I'm getting something. But then like you go back to these older games and it was like, oh, you just want to like even Halo 2, like Halo 2 especially, it's just playing for the sake of playing. Yeah. And
because Halo 3 had Sandbox, it was like, oh, you're making like new game modes almost. But like Halo 2 is just like,
so like is that
sword glitch? Sword glitch. Sword glitch.
So, like, is that, like, do you think that, like, single players maybe have to kind of even figure out a way of doing that? Like, you know, because, again, like, it's almost like, why would you justify spending $60 on a single player game that, like, might be okay? Like, obviously, there are some big ones that people will buy.
Honestly, if it was me, if I was developing, if someone that has no first-hand knowledge of game development and release, just secondhand from interviews and stuff like that, I think they need to do more, and this was big back in the day, and maybe it is because I don't play console nearly as much, so maybe it still is. I just don't know. And if it is, they need to like market it better. But to me, it's game demos. Give them the first level for free, chapter for free, hour for free, and then when they're like, oh, I do like this game, then they'll invest the money. Because that's the biggest thing. Is like, do I want to put $60 into this experience? I think that's all there is, and I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not.
I think the 360 did that for a while.
The 360 had tons of game. I played a shit ton of game demos.
I think there's a section in the marketplace.
Yeah, you can just turn on demos only. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like
I would do it because I'm a poor kid in high school who doesn't have money.
Oh yeah, I remember you would just. I think there was a demo. I can't remember what game it was, but I think I played the demo. Like, oh, I remember my friend Jake. He got the NHL 12 demo, and he played it for like 20 hours. He just played the demo over and over and over again before buying the actual game, and. I agree, or like I miss like honestly, I'm sure you can still do it. Granted, I don't buy games at stores anymore, but like you walk in like GameStop and there was like the console that had all the demos of like.
Oh,
the
I love that stuff. Yeah,
and you're like, oh wow, like I never looked into Killzone, but this looks pretty badass. I'm gonna buy this game.
And that's my point is that they need to like make them more inviting in the same way that Fortnite is inviting because it is free and it is on everything. There's no person who plays any level of game that I know, like even if they just played mobile games, something like that, right? Every person who plays any kind of video-esque game I know has tried Fortnite. They may not be playing anymore. They may only played like 2 or 3 games, but they played a game because it is just there. And when you have that kind of access and that kind of, well, why not attitude towards the game, that is what allows you to bring in the customers you weren't already getting.
And I agree because I think, like, especially with, like, again, like, look at a lot of these multiplayer games. Like, you can buy Siege for $14. You can buy this, the base edition. It doesn't give you a lot, but you can get the game that people are playing. Fortnite, obviously free. And again, you're looking at this single-player game, so you can't play it with your friends. And it might not be good because you have to maybe go watch someone else play it, but that's not you playing it. So you only see, and you really don't know much about it, or you watch trailers where people are trying to sell you it. And like even I remember I didn't get BioShock until I played the demo, and I was like, what the hell is this game? That's my favorite game of all time. I didn't buy it until it was like 10 years old. And I think that's the difference is like, I think the demos are a great idea where you just go, okay, look, like Death Stranding, that game is weird. It's so weird.
Weird is an understatement.
Like that game is so weird, it might just turn people off. So like, why not just be like, okay, look, you can play the first hour of it.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, and like, chill out, play the first hour for free. If you like it, then get it. And like, I think that's the perfect way of doing it, because if you want people to get something, you have to say, spend your $60 here versus buying $60 of V-Bucks for a game you already like. You already like this game. You want to get better at it. You want to get more stuff for it. So you have to tell someone to spend that money on something else that they can't play. They can't play with their friends. There's never really competition to it. They're playing it just for the sake of enjoyment, and it might suck. So like, it's all this stuff, and that's because I do miss single player, and I realize it all the time, where I'm like, man, I haven't played like a single player game in ages. Or like, even when I sit down, like I haven't finished Cuphead yet. I haven't finished Limbo yet. I have like all like Inside, like all like these easy.
You haven't finished Cuphead?
Yeah, I have not.
Oh, I know. I haven't finished Cuphead.
Yes, I need more dates to finish Cuphead. So.
I don't think that's the exact issue. I think it's the fact that you stop playing Cuphead at some point on those dates.
Yeah, you only get so far when you start making out, But, it's again, but it's just like Limbo is a 2-hour, 3-hour game that I could easily sit down and finish. But I sit down and I go, yeah, I'll play Limbo, and I'll go, oh man, or I could just go whoop some booty in Siege, and like, because again, because it's not like a movie. A movie, I think, is easy. It's like, I'm gonna watch 2 hours of a movie. Movie is over with. I have done everything I can do with that game, with that movie, and it's not $60. It's free on Netflix. So you're a bit more like, whatever, I'll just kill 2 hours. But then you gotta look at these single player games where you go, oh man, like I have to go through all of this stuff just to even get to like The Witcher 3. That game has like 200 hours of content in it. And I go like, why even bother starting it? I'm not gonna even finish it.
So there's two things. The first thing is that the outlook you're having is a problem, but also not the solution they're going for, because you're saying, I have to do this stuff to get to the end, which tells me that it's a bad game, or it's just not the kind of game you should be playing.
Yeah.
Because your mindset should be, oh my god, I need to get through this stuff so I can find out how this ends, because you want to be there, not because the end result is the only reason. Like, you didn't play, like, okay, maybe you played Halo 3 for that, but Halo 2, for example, going to Halo 2, you didn't pick up Halo 2 just because you wanted to know how Halo 2 ends. You want to pick up Halo 2 because you wanted to know more about the universe in general, and you wanted more of the multiplayer gameplay.
Sure.
It wasn't just be like, oh my god, how does it end? It's what happens next. It's about the travel, not the destination,
The journey, not the...
Yeah, anyway. But the other thing you touched on that I did want to talk about is the other option, I think, that games have. We were like, oh, the movie's free because it's on Netflix. Not exactly true, but close. Because it was a subscription service, and the money gets dissipated through Netflix buying and licensing these shows. We have Games Pass right now with Xbox.
Oh, genius. I love Game Pass, yeah.
Right, which is the other alternative, which is the bigger companies like Xbox license these games, and then they can water down the price point as a subscription service. Or, I said this many times on the podcast before, I think one day, in the next probably 10 years, we don't have consoles anymore. We don't have Xbox, we don't have PS4. Everything's through a TV, everything's through like a Steam box, and we just have EA access services for EA, for Bungie, for every company. And now, instead of them having to sell you a $60 game, they can be like, you can buy the $60 game, or you can pay $5-10 a month and have our whole library, cancel it anytime.
And I think that is when, like, I think the only thing I miss about, because I really don't play my Xbox anymore because I have a PC now.
Hey.
Is like, I think that Game Pass, like, to me, was like, when I think in the beginning it lacked some games, but now like all the new games are on it. Like, that is a good way of doing it. But I remember buying that. I was like, oh, you know what? I only had like 10 games on my Xbox One, but now I have this old library of all the games I used to play. Like, because I love my 360, I still have it. But then to find out like a lot of the 360 catalog is on there, or games I had Halo 5 on there, which I never would have bought, but it's on the Game Pass. I'm like, oh, whatever. I guess I'll play through it. I'm like, okay, it sucked.
I guess I'll be disappointed like everyone else.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's bad. And like, but even like EA Access, I think EA Access is definitely, by far, I think one of the better, EA and Origin Access are two of the better services out there, because you get games like Battlefield, and stuff like that. And I think that is I think that is the only way you can beat something like Fortnite Siege, where they can sell that game for $12 because they know they're going to rake in money off of you buying the packs and everything, is, maybe when the next, let's say the next Elder Scrolls, like the next Elder Scrolls come out and be like, hey, it's on Game Pass, so it's only like $10.
The next Elder Scrolls has a mobile release. Do you know how many people are going to buy the next console game because of this mobile game? Like, it's going to be insane.
Oh, the Sword Elder Scrolls one? Or the actual...
It's free to play. So
yeah.
many people who haven't played Elder Scrolls are going to be like, oh, let me see what this game is. Like all the people who play like Pokemon Go and got into mobile, like real mobile games.
Fun fact, you can now trade in Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I know all about it because I have friends that play it. I don't
it
give
only
a shit.
took 2 years.
I'm sad to say I know 4 people at Pokemon Go Fest right now. It's happening right now.
I will tell you, I still walk around and I'll see someone walking with their phone out.
And you just think it's Pokemon Go?
I know, I'm like, they're texting, and I'll walk by, I'm like, is this person really playing Pokemon Go still? I'm like, no one plays this, right? This bombed. Like, world peace could have happened. They dropped the ball. They dropped it.
In their defense, they actually, a lot of the post content seems really good. I'm just not interested in what's offering, mostly because I'm in mobile fuck and there's no traffic, i.e. no Pokemon to catch.
Oh, Pokemon Go is some garbage here.
Yeah,
my god.
Dude, there's just Pidgeys.
I didn't even think they must have been trash.
I walked for 2 miles with my friend one day and we found no Pokemon.
I did I really...
Also, here's the other thing. Not just the fact there's no battle system and stuff, there's no like real battle system and stuff like that, right? It's like, in the game, it's like, you know where you find Pokemon? In the tall grass. In real life, it's like, you know where you find Pokemon? In the skyscraper in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
I live in the woods. They should be everywhere.
I was like, I didn't realize that, like, I think especially when it first came out, that like they pop up where like people are, like where those phones
are. It's by mobile traffic, yeah.
Yeah. So me and Alex Liberto, we literally just were like, okay, guys, let's go into the forest. I mean, it's like you just ran out like over train tracks and stuff, like, and then like you realize you have no cell service, so like you have no idea where you are, and like you're sitting there, go, guys, why are there no Pokemon again? And because because there's no one here, like,
it's.
But again, like, and I think that's a good example of
they're gonna pick up this mobile game, and they're gonna be like, oh wow, this was pretty fun. What's the full game like?
Yeah.
And then they're gonna buy Skyrim.
And I think that's the thing.
Not Skyrim. They're gonna buy Skyrim because Skyrim's everywhere, and then they're gonna buy the next Elder Scrolls.
And I think that's just the world we live in now, where it's, again, like, it's, think about Netflix. You can watch a show. If you don't like it, you just turn it off. And each movie, like, I don't even, like, there are like shows on Netflix I don't even click on because the picture doesn't look interesting enough. Like, that's like how picky people get. And
I mean, that's also because there's just so many options. It's like, you gotta weed it out somehow.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's happening to gaming, where
it's not like there's like 9 titles, right? And you watched 8, and you see the 9th, and you're like, no, I don't like this picture. It's like, no, there's 10,000 more you're gonna.
Yeah, that's true. Like, how many? I love, like, when. I think this must happen to everyone, or it's just me. We're like.
I love that mindset people have, where it's like, where you say something, you're like, right, and everyone's like, what are you talking about?
Like, do you ever try to sit down and watch something on Netflix with someone, and you end up just scrolling through it for like an hour?
Yeah.
Like, you just go.
Most of my dates, they just happen.
Right. Yes.
Netflix.
Yes. You go. Like, you want to watch something on Netflix.
We're like, what are we? Because if we haven't already started watching something, we're like, all right, you want this?
And you go, what is the most boring show that'll like want us to like make out? Like, where's the most uninteresting show I can find?
That's
Planet Earth. There it is. Planet Earth. And they love Planet Earth. Like, shit.
That's not the right way. You want something that's bubbly and quirky. So
Bob's Burgers is a great answer.
Oh, Bob's Burgers is great. Parks and Rec is also good.
Parks and Rec is the.
Office is not. Office is not a good choice.
No, because every girl loves The Office.
No, it's not even that though. It's the type of humor in The Office. It's like it doesn't put you in a like. It doesn't make you like humanity. It makes you hate humanity because everyone's an asshole in The Office. Like, the
best show is one that has like 13 seasons. So you just turn it on. You don't even watch it. It's just it's just gonna go.
You ever see the meme where it's like Netflix after 10 minutes? Are you still watching Netflix? Me, and then it's the post screen from like Super Smash Bros. With the characters just clapping, but it's supposed to be like smashing. Like,
and I think that is like, I think gaming is kind of like almost when you're playing Siege, you're not just playing Siege because you want to play Siege. It's almost like it's the second aspect of. This is like the game I choose to be into. I want to get better at it. I want to learn more about it. It takes, and again, like, especially with Siege, Fortnite, and PUBG, it takes time to get good at them. So you have to sit down and go, man, like, I have to put time in to get good. And I think but again, like, it's, you want to be better at one of those games because your friends are most likely playing them. And so it's almost like you're at a disadvantage if you decide to play a single-player game because then you're out with your friends. You have to make the decision. And, I think that's also part of it. I think gaming is definitely getting more and more social by the day because it's easier to communicate. Like, back when, I remember Xbox Party Chat, and I was like, wait a minute. I can talk to my friends and play video games at the same time. And there's 8 of them. And you're like, wait a minute, we can all do the same thing or different things and talk. And I think that is part of it where I think it's weird because I don't even know how to solve it. Where it's like, 'cause I want single player games to exist. I like single player games. I buy single player games. But again, I find myself not finishing them. And I remember reading about this problem 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's
right? This has been coming.
Yeah.
We knew about it. We knew this was going to happen. And no one did anything.
It's like global warming. We all know it's happening, but there's a section of the population that says, we'll figure it out later.
I remember reading Game Informer when I was 14. They're
like, global warming is an issue.
They're like, single player.
Buy your Xbox now.
Single player games are dying. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Then you look at Halo 3 sales and you're like, yeah, sure. And then you look at Fortnite downloads and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah. Then Fortnite is that's the ice caps have fully melted. We're like, oh no, this is it. We're dead. There's no going back now. This is Fortnite was the final break in the dam. A free game. Name one good free game. Fortnite, 2 billion downloads. I think we're in trouble here.
Pokemon Go. Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Minecraft.
You can never compete with free.
Not that it was free, but
that's the worst. You can just never compete with free. So now that the number one game in the world.
Well, no, that's not true.
Okay.
You can compete with free if the free isn't good.
The issue is now the free is good.
Yeah, the issue is that people understand how to actually make a revenue model that isn't aggressive towards customers. Because for a while, right, there was a lot of free games like League of Legends, Dota, all that stuff, where it was it felt like, and them less, but mostly all the other ones during that time, where it's it felt like if you wanted a quality game, they were for free. They were really aggressively putting you into a corner to throw them money, and then what happened was, people discovered the model. So what happened next was Overwatch came out, and it's hold on, what if we just do half? What if you give us half the money up front? We give you a full polished game with the full access, and then if you want to keep playing this game, you are enticed to give us money. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Then when that model happened, they're like, oh wait, what if we just believe in our product enough that you will play it? Fortnite.
Yes, Fortnite is very weird. And it's again I almost hate talking about it because everyone talks about it. But again, I think this is
no, we need to put in the tags.
Yeah, but you know how we talk about Modern Warfare 2 and we go wow, what a game changer.
For me, it's Halo, but yeah, Modern Warfare 2 is a game changer.
That was the game that
I played a lot of Modern Warfare 2, but for me, it's just Call of Duty's Call of Duty.
Yeah, but Halo 3, I think both is this was a game that everyone bought. Everyone had Modern Warfare 2. Yes. Everyone had Halo 3
or Black Ops. Black Ops
was everyone had Black Ops. And now it's everyone has Fortnite. Not even everyone in your
Fortnite
gaming.
Fortnite is not installed on my PC.
Yeah, not in the sense of everyone. This is all of your gaming friends. This is everyone and everyone has Fortnite. Were you
your grandma has it and she just doesn't know what to do with it.
You were there. Were you there by graduation party? I wonder if you were.
I left at that point, but you told me how everyone started watching your brother.
My whole
Fortnite.
family watched. Mike.
Explain it for them though. Explain it for them.
So this is how this is one of the most shocking things I've ever seen. So my brother was playing Fortnite.
Shout out to Chase.
And he was the top 12. It was right when it gets starting intense. Right when it starts getting nerve-wracking.
Where we're actually building stable things and fighting.
So he's playing. I'm watching. My 6 friends who are gamers. So we're obviously we're watching, which is normal. That makes sense.
Yeah.
We're watching. All of my cousins are watching, so it's 5 cousins under the age of 13 are watching. There's the other cousins who haven't played video games in their life. They're all watching and streaming because they know what it is. My aunts and uncles who don't even know what video games are have come downstairs and are going, "What is Oh, okay, I like." And there was 30 people just watching one guy play Fortnite, and like even my friend like looking at him, he's like, oh my god, this is happening. Like this is it. Like this is the moment. Like this is why gaming's taking off.
This is
now.
esports. Like this is why esports works. Is because you don't have to understand the game. You just have to understand the person you're watching is extremely good at this thing and has put time into being good at this thing. B, rallying around a person or team like you do in sports. Those are the only things you need to get people on board.
It's funny, 'cause I remember at the beach, like my best friend.
Do you remember much from the beach?
No, not this beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like a year ago I went and like, with my my best friend Jake and his family, and like everyone's in bed, and I was like watching TV, and I saw like I went to like ESPN2 and like put it on for some reason, and they had Street Fighter going. And I was like, oh, this is pretty weird. It was like 1 a.m. and I was like, okay, I guess I'll watch Street Fighter. And Jake's sister, who's like 16, 15, she comes in and she started watching it. She just comes in and starts watching it. She starts watching, and she's like, wow, like what is this? I'm like, oh, this is just like Street Fighter. And she's like, oh, this is pretty cool. And I'm like, she like sat down and started watching. Yeah. And I was like, wow, like this is like it is interesting. When you get people to watch it, you just gotta get them to watch it, and they're in.
Yeah,
like,
you see them like that's like the Olympics, right? No one gives a shit about any of those sports when it's not the Olympics.
Oh yeah.
When you get to the Olympics, it's like these people are the best at this thing. I couldn't give a shit about curling, but this guy is the best curler in the world.
Curling is exhilarating during the Olympics.
I enjoy watching curling, but that's my point, right? Bobsled, anything like track and field. No one will watch that shit anywhere else. But when it's the Olympics and you understand that this is the pinnacle of this thing, you watch it because you're like, I can appreciate the level of time and dedication because you're like, okay, if I put this much time in a thing I love, then I can understand what's gone into this guy and this thing, and it's a privilege to watch someone of that caliber doing that thing and winning.
And this is what I remember. Like I'll tell anyone this when like if I'm doing like I remember I was interning at a radio place and this guy was like doing a show and he was like, Jack, how can I make it better? And I was like, look, your best episodes happen when you are passionate about what is going on. If you care about the subject matter of this episode, people will notice it and they will be somewhat interested. And like, if you look at our Beyblade video, which we did, which is like one of the most viewed ones because we sat there and were like, oh my god,
views per day. So yes,
but like we were very confident in like we liked that. It was passionate. We put a lot of effort into it, and it comes. And that's what I tell people.
Not that I don't put a lot of effort into all these videos we do.
No, but that was one that we were like.
That was one that you put a lot of effort into also.
It was like we really wanted this to be good, and we were like really excited about it, and you know that pushes you to do better, and I think that also gets people more. Like I think people like seeing people be passionate about things, and like listen. Like I listened to You Bet Your Garden on WHYY in the morning.
I know what that is.
It's a radio show in the morning on weekends, and all they do is talk about gardening. And it is the most fascinating show I have ever listened to because this guy is so into it. He takes calls. Like if people call in and go like, my petunias aren't growing.
Is this the guy that was on John Oliver, but he also has like a radio show or something?
No, I doubt he was on John Oliver. But like people just call in. It's like public broadcasting. They just call in and go, hey, man, like my petunias aren't growing. What do I do? And he just goes off like of how to get them to grow. I sit there just enamored with this man as he talks about how to get petunias to grow. Because it's fascinating.
Sure.
And I think that is just like what I try and get across, like even with gaming or anything, like that's what
there's an audience for everything.
Yeah. Like when I see single player games and they're kind of like, like you should buy it. It's cool. I'm like, let people play it. Get a demo out there. Let me sit down and play it. Don't try and sell me the trailer. Don't like when you watch those cheesy E3 demos. You're like, this is so cheesy. This is clearly like some guy trying to sell me this.
This was like everything was clearly choreographed. Like
do you remember that guy came out for Mario Rabbids and he was like crying?
Yeah,
remember that? That was incredible.
Yeah,
he was like sobbing.
Or when the guy from Yarny cried.
Yeah, he was like, oh my god, I'm going to make Mario Rabbids. This is so. I was like, okay, A, why does someone want to make this? But B, I respect the guy.
It was more like I get to work with Mario. Like, I get to like work with this franchise. It was less about the Rabbids part. It was more like they're trusting me with Mario.
And and you felt it. And I hear that game's incredible. I hear the game's like good.
It got a full real DLC release.
That's what I'm saying. Like that is like what. You know, and I think, and again, with God of War, where like people are like, we like God of War, we're gonna make a good game, we're gonna do what we want to do, no matter what people like think about it now. Or when you play it, you'll like it, and people did. And I think that is like what single player games kind of need is, you know, and I think Death Stranding could be a good example of that. Is like, I'm just gonna give this crazy guy the blank check to do what he needs to do, and I'm just gonna trust it to come out. And you know, and I think that's maybe what happened with Fallout was like Fallout 76. I'm hoping is like this is the direction they did want to take it, not a people might not buy it, let's make it multiplayer kind of situation. I'm hoping this was like what they wanted to do, you know, like this was like the in their heart of hearts they wanted to make this multiplayer Fallout game. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, do you see single player games sticking around?
They're definitely sticking around, but I think they definitely need to evolve past where they are now. They need to do something in order to properly like distinguish themselves and survive. Or else we're gonna become smaller experiences with less money put into them. That's except for obviously like the bigger stuff like Call of Duty, still gonna be around 10 years probably. Sure, like those stuff they have too much money and influence not to fail. But for everything else, even to succeed, they're gonna be putting in twice as much effort to get the same result.
I think about a game like even like Cyberpunk, which is gonna be like this big single player game. Like even still, like they say they're a few years out, and like as good it is, I'm sure they still have to get people to buy it.
Can't wait.
Yeah, like they have to generate that hype. They want to make sure that people.
I'll generate it for them.
Yeah.
I will generate it with this booty of mine. We're gonna go all the way around here and get some Cyberpunk.
I really don't even know what to say to that.
Well, to close out the show, I want to introduce our new segment to close out every episode of the podcast. How many days till Kingdom Hearts 3? Jack, can you tell me how many days till Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out?
Is it more than I want it to be?
I mean, how many is it right now?
It's coming out. Oh, it comes out next year, right?
I mean, will it? But for now, when is it coming out?
Is it like 190 days or something?
Currently, the days left until the release of Kingdom Hearts 3 is 194 days, 3 hours, 57 minutes, and 30 seconds. As of this recording. It's less when you see this.
That's heartbreaking. That makes me so sad.
I'm gonna remind you every Power Cycle podcast now.
I can't wait till it gets delayed again. I just gonna like.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have a graphic for this, and then the timer's gonna go up when it gets delayed.
If it gets delayed again, I might just jump off a bridge. Like I really.
Have you chosen the bridge yet, though?
No, but I do remember when I came over to your place for E3, and I was like driving. I think it popped up like Kingdom Hearts delayed.
You walked in, and you were like, "They did it! You said they were gonna do it, and I didn't think they would, and they did it."
I was like just drove off like in to the side like a rock. But yes.
Well, on that note, Jack, where can they find us at?
You can find us on Twitter. I am at the Red Baron.
And I am at Tippy Tyson. I mean at the Mighty Mike.
Dude, I like the reference.
You can also find us on Facebook at Your Entertainment Network Team. We're also setting up Mixer accounts because streaming on YouTube is terrible and actually hurts your channel if you're not already starting out with 100+ viewers. So we're gonna be streaming on Mixer from now on. We'll have links to that in the description down below. We're setting those up right now because we want to be on Mixer because the multicam is better than Twitch. Also, you can find us on Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, and every other place podcasts are found.
Oh, dude,
at
yeah.
Power Cycle Podcast.
Forgot about that. That's exciting.
We just got Spotify. We did it. We got them all now.
We're on Spotify?
We're on Spotify.
Dude, that's wild. We're legit now. So now go subscribe and
do it.
Make us popular, I guess.
Right. On that note,
it's time to power down.